Gaza City, Gaza Strip. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation (OIC) convened an emergency summit in Istanbul May 18 to address the ongoing Great Return March protests on the border between Israel and the Gaza Strip, which coincided with the transfer of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem May 14. The final statement included a series of measures to be taken against those countries supporting the embassy transfer. The statement stressed the imposition of economic and political measures on states and other entities that actively supported moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, to ensure they are denied access to the markets of OIC members. The organization stated that it would also enforce political restrictions on states recognizing Israel's annexation of Jerusalem, deeming the embassy move an attack on legal and historical rights. In its statement, the OIC stressed its goal to protect Jerusalem and preserve its historical character, legal status and spiritual sites, taking all necessary measures to end violations committed by Israel and any supporting parties. The OIC is the second-largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations, with 57 member states from across 4 continents, including Saudi Arabia and Iran. The body was created according to a decision issued at the historic summit held in Rabat on Sept. 25, 1969, held to address the burning of Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. Among the parties that supported the U.S. Embassy move, the OIC mentioned Paraguay, which opened its embassy in Jerusalem May 21, and Guatemala, which opened its embassy in the city May 16, just 2 days after the U.S. transfer. At the same time, the organization called for the immediate establishment of an independent commission of international experts to investigate crimes and massacres committed by Israel against demonstrators taking part in the Great Return March, which kicked off March 30 and culminated during the 70th Nakba commemoration May 14. With more than 110 killed and thousands injured during the demonstrations, the summit saw calls for the dispatch of an international force to protect the Palestinians. Spokesman for the Palestinian government in Ramallah, Yusuf al-Mahmoud, condemned the opening by 3 countries of their embassies in Jerusalem, saying that it constitutes a violation of the identity and existence of the Arab Palestinian people. Refusing to recognize the implications of the embassy transfers, Mahmoud told Al Monitor, "Jerusalem is the eternal capital of Palestine, and the opening of embassies will not erase its Arab identity." In regard to the final statement of the OIC summit, he said that Palestine is in dire need of political and economic measures such as those that support and sustain the Palestinian cause, while weakening Israel, especially among the international community. Mahmoud noted that the urgent call to convene the summit confirms that Palestine is the central cause of the Arabs as well as the Palestinians. He urged greater efforts to be made in support of the Palestinian people internationally, especially in relation to the city of Jerusalem. The city of Jerusalem is a great sacred symbol of spirituality, culture and history, as well as being the capital of Palestine, he said. It is right that all nations stand by its side, especially in the shadow of the threat from the United States that aims to endorse Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Mahmoud added that the Palestinian leadership will participate in drafting the necessary plans for the implementation of the OIC recommendations, namely the creation of an international commission of inquiry and dispatching an international protection committee. He stressed that the recent events in the Gaza Strip are a crime, especially as they coincided with celebrations around the transfer of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. According to Mahmoud, these events confirm that the United States is no longer a sponsor of peace in the region. Abdulsattar Qasim, a professor of political science at An-Najah National University in Nablus, told Al Monitor that Palestine's experiences with the OIC confirm that the body's decisions and outcomes are a mere formality. He claimed that its outputs are issued purely for the media and not for implementation, emphasizing that the OIC is a weak organization unable to take action on its decisions. Citing a previous set of resolutions that have not yet been implemented, such as the boycott of Israel, Qassem said that the OIC does not in any way serve the Palestinian cause. "We must not rely on such summits to support our cause," he said. "Instead, we must depend on popular efforts to support it." Mukhaimer Abu Sada, a professor of political science at Al-Azhar University in Gaza, told Al-Monitor that the OIC's swift response to the situation in the Gaza Strip and the Palestinian issue is evidence of its concern with subsequent events in Palestine. However, he noted that such forums reflect no more than decision-making, pointing to the absence of any follow-up mechanisms obliging member states to implement them. "The outcomes of the summit may be implemented by some member states, but not by all of them," he added. Abu Sada ruled out the possibility of the OIC taking action against the United States, as it could not afford to sever political relations with the country. However, he noted that it may take action against other states that transferred their embassies, stressing the OIC's selectivity in this regard as the basic punitive action should be directed at the United States. With regard to the impact on Israel of any trade boycott, should it occur, Abu Sada explained that Israel relies on its trade with EU countries far more than with OIC member states. According to him, Israel can bypass country of origin restrictions and promote its goods via indirect channels. "What is required is not an Arab declaration of war on Israel, but rather the implementation of decisions," he continued. Political analyst Dalal Aqal told Al-Monitor that there are a series of stances adopted by the OIC that confirm the body's seriousness. Among them, he cited Turkey's expulsion of its Israeli ambassador. He suggested that the OIC's declarations may dissuade some countries from transferring their embassies from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. According to Aqal, the U.S. influence in the Middle East has declined in recent years, especially since it has deployed efforts to persuade countries to move their embassies. Abu Sada added that Israel has significant trade relations with a number of countries, such as the United States, Egypt and Jordan, stressing that the implementation of the OIC resolution could strengthen and expand the boycott campaign and contribute to the isolation of Israel internationally.